I think we all, I think we've all had this discussion or we've heard this discussion, I don't know how many times, but it's been a hot topic in debate in American politics for a long time and the church. And the question is, can a person be born gay? Or is homosexuality a attribute that a person chooses to be? And my answers to both those questions is no. But in some cases, that question and those answers can be based upon certain subjectivity. When people ask, is homosexuality a choice? They're not even thinking about the entirety of the question and what the actual coherence of what they're actually saying. Now, I'm a heterosexual male. I naturally like women, as a man is supposed to naturally like women. But I didn't choose to be a heterosexual male. My desires towards women are not something that I choose to have. You can't choose what your natural instincts are. That's not a mental clarity to make a, you know, certain preference of a choice. This is something that's instinctual. Natural desires. It's an instinctual nature. So you need to understand that when you ask the question, is homosexuality a choice? There's a subjective answer to that, but my answer would be no. I don't think people choose to be homosexuals or lesbians. And yes, I do think people can be born with these unnatural desires. And people say, or these morons, they ask, well, homosexuality is something that's unnatural, so how can someone be born naturally with it? I mean, you're not making any sense. Do you know how many people are born blind and they're born through the natural predisposition? Do you know how many people are born autistic or mentally retarded? People are born without arms. Some people are born with a preconceived condition of schizophrenia. You know, all these deformities or these illnesses that people are born with in their natural birth are unnatural. No one is supposed to be born mentally retarded or blind or born without arms or legs. No one is supposed to be born with any type of mental or physiological defect. We're supposed to be born healthy. Naturally, we're supposed to be born healthy. But because of all the health problems and whoever might be carrying the child, people are born with these preconceived conditions. And every one of them are a case of being unnatural. So when you ask that question, can people be born gay? And your answer would be no, and my answer would be yes. And then you argue, well, how can they be born gay when it's something unnatural. You're not making any sense. Because you can be born through the natural predisposition with an unnatural sickness or an unnatural instinct. So what people are failing to even use logic and reason, you know, anything else, what I just said outside of homosexuality, you would agree to me. But because it's homosexuality, and because it's something you don't agree with, you will throw out all logic and reasoning and just say, oh, well, that can't be true because how could this be true? Because it's unnatural. You can be born with a preconceived condition such as homosexuality through the natural process, but it's still unnatural. So when you ask, can people be born gay? Well, yeah. It's still an unnatural preconceived condition, but they can be born that way. As I said before, being born mentally retarded is unnatural. So, the other question they ask is homosexuality a choice? And I say no. Something like this can't be a choice. I can't choose to have instinctual desires towards the same sex. Now, I can choose to engage in the behavior based upon these desires. I'm naturally attracted to women as I'm supposed to be. But it's nothing I should brag about or pat myself on the back like a lot of males do when they're speaking against homosexuality. I mean, they speak with this proudness as if this is something that they earn or they have to fight for. How can you criticize a gay person for having these gay feelings when you're not even in their predisposition? If you had homosexual instincts, you would be doing the exact same thing they were. A lot of it, or you would be doing some gay people I know, because there's some gay people who are 100% gay and they know homosexuality is wrong and unnatural, but they never engage in any homosexual behavior or relationships. They're in heterosexual marriages. They have children like natural people. And you might say, well, they're bisexual. No, they're not. A lot of them are feared of being disowned by their families or the repercussions. And you wonder why when you hear about some people that seem like they have a happy marriage or happy family, and then this person just goes off the wall, or they might just kill themselves, or they might fall into a Great Depression because they're tired of hiding their homosexuality. When you have these desires and they're not being fulfilled, you understand it's going to begin to affect you. I know a man who played the role as heterosexual male who was gay all his life. He was telling me at one point, Mugabe, if I don't go and do something about this, I'm going to kill myself. I mean, nice family, makes a lot of money, good home. So what he did, he went back. There was a rundown pool house in his backyard. You know, it was like a pretty big house, but and they had a pool house in the back, and so he just fixed it up, and he made it into his own private man cave. And so he just started ordering a lot of homosexual pornography and everything. And And sometimes he would have friends over, gay friends, and they would be down there, and he would say they're tell us about their be about business or they're doing this, and what really they were doing something very inappropriate. But of course, he didn't bring it around his house. I knew about this particular gay swingers club um, community to where they have these private gay meetups where people meet in national parks, like in certain places. They, they'll rent cabins out and on private properties, like out in the middle of nowhere, and then you have a number of homosexual men that come together and to enjoy the night. And the thing about it is, these people, a lot of them are married, they have families, you know, but their family don't know that they're gay. They don't want people to know they're gay, so they go to these private meetups to fulfill these desires. And it's things like that exist that a lot of people don't know about. But what I'm saying is, you can't choose to be homosexual. A person doesn't choose to be a lesbian. It's impossible for homosexuality to be a choice because it's basically, it functions like a natural instinctual desire. I mean, it's unnatural for a man to have sexual feelings for another man, but people, how the way their desires work, it operates in the same natural predisposition as heterosexual. And you can't choose that. Now, like I say, you can choose in how the way you react to these feelings. As far as behavior, you can choose not to engage or do things. And a lot of them do. But you understand, what makes you a homosexual or a lesbian is not defined by the behavior of homosexuality, but it's defined by the very nature. You're not homosexual based upon what you do, but it's based upon what you are in terms of your natural desires. I'm a heterosexual male, but I can engage in homosexual behavior and still not be a homosexual. You understand? And people think, well, just because you don't engage in the behavior, you're not homosexual. No, it doesn't work that way. It's instinctual. So therefore, homosexuality can't be something that you choose.